Welcome back to another episode of the Positively Mebane February update. I'm Kelly Hunter, your Public Information Officer, and today I'm joined by Mayor Hooks and our City Manager, Chris Rollins. So today we just want to dive in and go over a few of the key topic items during our February City Council meeting. And the first was a resolution honoring our now retired Water Resource Recovery Director, Dennis Hodge. Mayor Hooks, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I will indeed, and thank you, Kelly. We were pleased to honor our city retired Water Resource Recovery Facility Director, Dennis Hodge, last month. Dennis has served the Mebane community with a passion and commitment to excellence for 48 years. Those years have been spent dedicated to advancing environmental practices with emphasis on wastewater treatment and nutrient management. Dennis earned a distinction of a formal commendation from the Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, for his role in launching a nationally valuable study that stands as a beacon for stakeholders and regulators alike. He also pioneered the implementation of the KNAF technology, thereby significantly extending the efficacy and the life of the City of Mebane Wastewater Reclamation Facility and setting a new standard of operational efficiency and environmental care. The City of Mebane wishes him all the best in this next phase of his life. May he enjoy his retirement and much deserved relaxation.
So Dennis was a valuable department head at our water resource recovery facility. He worked over 20 years with us, but spent a lifetime in the business of wastewater treatment. And we greatly appreciate all he did for Mebane and hope he enjoys his retirement at the beach.
I'm sure he will. Who wouldn't love the sound of the ocean and waking up to the beautiful sea breeze every day?
Well, he's lived there for the last 10 years. He's been working for us easily.
Going from there, the city also had a few people reach out and contact city staff in regards to purchasing extra land or land that they no longer wanted to have in their possession. Chris, can you please explain to us a little bit more about these properties and what they would mean for the city?
Thank you, Kelly. Over the last year, the city purchased about 14 different properties that are between our WRF, the Water Resource Recovery Facility, and the new Highway 119 project. One person owned those properties. They were lots that were created before there were standards for creating lots in town. So we call them paper lots. So they got recorded and different folks bought them, but there was no water, no sewer, no streets ever built. So after we purchased those original 14, trying to develop some buffer between the wharf facility and adjoining neighbors, we had a couple other property owners reach out to us during that process. One was the Rogers property. City staff were contacted to see if we were interested in the property, located just west of the wharf facility. Staff believed there was a need for the additional buffering, as we are in the process of renovating and expanding our wharf facility. The city would spend $16,455 for the land purchase, with an estimated $5,000 for due diligence. The council voted 5-0 on the motion for the city to purchase the property located at these unopened streets of Lee Street and Short Streets, pursuant to the terms of the offer to purchase and contract, provided the normal due diligence is satisfactory to the staff, and the staff is also authorized to take necessary action to purchase the same. In that same area, the McDougal property, Mr. McDougal reached out to us offering to sell a vacant lot at the unopened Lee Street. It's the same area located just west of the Water Resource Recovery Facility. It had a tax value of $14,343, and he was willing to sell for that amount. The city council made a 5-0 motion that the city purchase this property located on the unopened Lee Street pursuant to the terms of the offer of purchase and contract, provided that the normal 5,000 due diligence is satisfactory to staff, and staff is authorized to take the necessary action to purchase the same. And the last one is the Dollar property. Mr. Dollar's family has owned this lot for many, many years. It's just west of the Holt Street Park. He was planning to list it for its tax value of $45,000, and just called to say, would you be interested in purchasing it, since it did adjoin the Holt Street Park? And we made an offer of $30,000, which was accepted. And so the same thing, we looked at the potential of a maximum cost of $5,000 for due diligence. Council made a 5-0 motion to approve the purchase of the property located at West Holt Street, pursuant to the terms of the offer and purchase contract. Provide the normal due diligence is satisfactory to staff, and staff is authorized to take necessary action. It's so ironic that this happened, and there was 3 properties my entire career. I don't ever remember 3 different people reaching out to the city wanting to sell us property that adjoins property we already own. But I think council did make a great decision to purchase those. The Holt Street property, we don't have any immediate plans to expand over there. There's a creek that goes through that property, so it would have buffer. So there's a good chance it'll just be the city preserving some woods here in town that adjoins the Holt Street Park in the future.
And speaking of the future and adding on additional amenities and things for our citizens, our bicycle and pedestrian transportation plan has not been updated since about 8 years ago. And so it was brought before council recommendations on ways to improve it. And I'm going to let Mayor Hooks explain to you a little bit about what some of the common themes and priorities were for our survey stakeholders, residents, and community inputs.
Good. Thank you, Kelly. If you keep up with the City of Mebane, you will hear us talk about a lot of different plans and studies that we have and we've done in the past. And we use these studies and these plans to manage what we're doing at the City of Mebane. And one of the ones that we just updated was our bicycle and pedestrian plan. The 2024 plan is an update of our original 2015 plan. In the 8 years since the original plan's adoption, the population of Mebane has grown from approximately 13,000 residents in 2015 to more than 19,000 residents in 2022. This growth has been accompanied by a multitude of residential, commercial, and industrial developments, as well as major infrastructure projects such as the NC 119 bypass. In light of all this growth, the purpose of this update to the plan is to evaluate the city's current and future needs and recommend new projects and strategies that will build on the accomplishments of the last 8 years and continue to move Mebane forward to a connected and active future. And this affects the quality of life in Mebane. Significant accomplishments to date since 2015. We did develop the bicycle plan, and we had an advisory commission formed. We adopted the Complete Streets resolution in December 2018. We have community bike events. We have updates to the Unified Development Ordinance in June of 2022. We completed projects such as the addition of sidewalks to Airhead Boulevard, South 5th Street, West Jackson Street, NC 119, South 2nd, in addition to Bike Boulevard to North Charles Street and West Clay Street. The goal and vision of the City of Mebane for our bicycle and pedestrian plan is a clean, connected, healthy, that residents and visitors can experience nature, enjoy exercising, and travel safely by foot or by bicycle to local businesses, services, and schools. We want the community safe, and this is a way we can do it. Using public engagements, 311 people completed the survey, focus groups, we had stakeholder interviews, and over 150 digital maps with ideal walls. We found the following top priorities. One, to improve sidewalk connectivity, better connections to destinations like our parks, schools, shops, and employment centers. And three, off-street paths and greenways, which we're starting now building as we speak, and multi-use paths. And the following key themes. We want to enhance the sidewalk network. We want to create a crosswalk improvement or crosswalk installations all over the city. Walking, biking, and rolling to parks is important to Mebanites. And the Mebane City Council voted unanimously to hold public hearings until the March 4th City Council meeting for the adoption of the 2024 Bicycle and Pedestrian Transportation Plan and the Recreation and Parks Comprehensive Master Plan. So we've got a lot going, and these two plans aid us in future decisions as we move forward in the next decade.
So Mayor, I heard this morning that we now have more sidewalks that the city maintains than we do road miles. That was a statistic when I first got here that amazed me of the number of miles of sidewalk and roads were practically the same in Mebane. This bicycle and pedestrian plan, a lot of people don't realize, but it's the document that has helped us require as subdivisions are built, the building of greenways that is starting all over town. The multi-use path, the great example is out on Stagecoach Road, on the Lebanon Road, and all the way to the edge of the city limits on the Lebanon Road. All of that would not have been able to require the developers to build that multi-use path if it hadn't been for this bike and ped plan. So same thing goes on the interchanges. Without it, DOT would be saying you don't have a plan to connect your sidewalks, and you know we can't build a sidewalk across these interchanges without you having a plan. So it's worked out very well that all of the Mebane Oaks and the 119 projects included, you know, bike lane and a sidewalk on the recently completed Mebane Oaks. As we're working with DOT for improvements at Trollinwood, the plan called for similar, and they're talking about doing a 10-foot wide multi-use path on that interchange as that is redone. So this has turned out to be a great plan for walking and running and folks enjoying nature in Mebane.
And for anyone interested in providing your input or you would like to know a little bit more, please do come out to our March 4th City Council meeting where you will be able to get up and have put in your 2 cents or say anything you would like to say about adopting the new 2024 Bicycle and Pedestrian Transportation Plan, as well as the master plan for the Recreation and Parks Department. The city is also currently working on obtaining funding to excavate water service lines within our Mebane city limits. Chris, could you please explain to us a little bit more about the funding and what exactly this will do?
I will. It doesn't sound real exciting, but it is an important thing. Water quality is always important in Mebane. It's the same all across our country. The Federal Clean Water Act Amendment in 1987 and the North Carolina Water Infrastructure Act in 2005 authorized the making of loans and grants to aid eligible units of government in financing the cost of construction and studies of drinking water distribution systems and wastewater collection systems. The City of Mebane would like to obtain funding from the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund to conduct field service investigations on service lines within the water distribution system that may contain residential service installed using lead or lead solder. The city intends to submit the funding application through the lead service line replacement funding program, and the application would be intended to pay a contractor to randomly excavate 1,200 water line services within the Mebane city limits to identify the service material type. So they will be looking at service lines that were put in during that time when lead was used years ago. This project would supplement an existing AIA Asset Inventory Assessment Grant that we're currently in progress. As part of the application, the resolution was required designating the mayor or the city manager as the authorized official to execute the application on behalf of the city. The resolution will be used for future LSLR applications due in March, June, and August of 24. The city intends to proceed with the grant in the amount of $520,000 with a zero match by the city. So council made a 5-0 motion to execute the resolution by the governing body for the applicant, which is the city.
Thank you, Chris. And as the weather continues to heat up, be prepared to add more social events to your calendar. Coming up in just about 2 weeks, we will have the annual Downtown Mebane Extravaganza and Bunny Hop in partnership with Downtown Mebane and other downtown businesses. This event will take place on Saturday, March 23rd, and the event was going to happen rain or shine. So be prepared to come downtown and join in as the Easter Bunny visits various downtown locations between 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock p.m. for photo opportunities. More than a dozen of our local businesses are participating, and they will be displaying your excellent Easter egg designs. You can pick up eggs for your child or children to decorate from even the Mebane Arts and Community Center or the Mebane Public Library. They are also available on the city's webpage if you go to cityofmebane.gov. Have your child decorate the egg on the coloring sheet, cut it out, write their name on the back, and drop off their colorful creations no later than Friday, March 15th to the Mebane Arts and Community Center or the library. Easter eggs will be displayed in downtown business windows from March 23rd through the 31st. Then we also have the 10th annual Mebane Train Show, which is coming up on Saturday, March 9th from 9 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. at the Mebane Train Display Museum, located at 209 West Jackson Street. Come out and see the Tommy Long train collection of vintage Lionel and MTH trains. Admission will be $5, and children under 12 will get in for free with a paid adult. The show will feature access to Mebane's permanent Owen standard gauge operating train exhibit, access to the Tommy Long train collection of vintage Lionel and MTH trains. There'll be approximately 50 vendors across 80 tables, and you will receive one raffle ticket for an operating layout, which is included with each paid admission for a ticket to get in. You can come out and support your Eastern Alamance High School bands on Saturday, March 23rd from 10 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. at the Mattress Warehouse in Burlington, located at 106 Huffman Road. All mattresses sold that day will save anywhere from 30 to 70% off retail pricing. You can also contribute to the fundraiser by purchasing mattresses online from March 17th to the 23rd, where a portion of the proceeds will go towards making a difference for students in our community. We also want to remind residents that the Water Quality Preventative Maintenance Program, otherwise referred to as a Chlorine Burnout, is ongoing and will continue until April 18th. During the transition, some users have probably noticed a temporary color, taste, and odor difference in your water. It is a normal part of the process, and we guarantee that your water quality is not being affected. However, if you have any questions, please contact the Graham-Mebane Water Treatment Facility at 336-578-3264. Otherwise, that is it. That wraps it up for our Positively Mebane February update. Thank you so much, Chris and Mayor Hooks, for joining me today.
Thank you, Callie. Thank you, Chris. And Mebane, remember, stay positively charming.